From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
It's December 28th, 2018, and it is the Relevant Podcast. It's our year-end Best Of edition. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studio on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
Why do you get the longest intro?
I know.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
And a special guest joining the trio. He comes through this episode the last few years.
Yeah.
My son, Cohen Strang. Hi. He's obviously on school break, so he gets the fun-filled day of sitting at Dad's office.
Yeah,
so,
well, I mean, he gets to sit in on literally the best episode of the year. This is pure highlights. This is the highlight reel. Cohen, this is probably a thrill for you like I couldn't imagine. What are you feeling stepping into the Best Of episode 2018?
Excited. Oh, there you go. What's your favorite thing that happened in 2018? Not just on our podcast, but like, what's your favorite thing that happened in 2018?
Living in a construction site.
Oh, really? That was your favorite? That was horrible. That was a horrible experience.
With no floors.
No floors, no ceiling, no walls some days. It was awful.
It's like a fort. It's like when I was a kid, we used to build forts, and there was like exposed nails. It could collapse at any moment. You know, the structural integrity of the trees we chose were always very poor, mostly rotted and sickly.
That's rotted and sickly is how I would describe the home we lived in most of the year. Rats were falling through the ceiling at various times. Yeah, it was.
Wasn't there like a family of frogs?
There was a family of frogs living in a cabinet that we discovered. Yeah.
Let me ask you this about the family of frogs. I got a question before we move on. We're already in the ditch, and I feel like what a better way to end the year than right off the ditch, right off the bat. But the family of frogs, did you mercifully relocate them, or were they like exterminated?
So I don't know, because the team that came in to clean the home is who discovered the family of frogs and told us about them. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to them.
I'll assume the worst.
You should. But now our home is pretty much put back together. So it's great. So that's probably my favorite thing of 2018 is that now we have floors and walls. Yeah. Well, we have a great show. It literally is the best stuff that happened this year. If you haven't heard our previous Best Of episodes, we bring you just small clips and highlights of some of the great conversations, the band performances, and just kind of reminisce on a very memorable 52 weeks of podcasting. Yeah.
Can I say real quick too, this was the hardest year to choose. Like, I felt like there were so many great moments, so many great guests. And I encourage everyone to go back to the feed, listen to the entire year's worth, and email me if you said, hey, you should have added this one. I'm totally cool with that. But this is what I thought were some of the big standouts.
Well, I mean, we had some major changes on the show this year. Number one, after our 600th episode, we switched to 2 a week, which is big. And not to give away, big plans, but in January, another evolution, I'll say, is coming to the show format.
Chandler, drum roll throughout the entire show today and into the January show. And that's when it'll have the rim shot. That's when
we finally reveal the shift. So it was a year of trying new things. Obviously, Tyler Huckabee joined us this year as a full-time cast member. We had a couple live events, which was a lot of fun. Our Christmas spectacular, lots of great things, and like you said, some amazing guests. At the beginning of the year, we talked with VOUS Church pastor Rich Wilkerson Jr. about how writing his book Sandcastle Kings, which featured artwork by his good friend Kanye West, led to criticism from fellow Christians who didn't approve of some of his high-profile friendships. Rich opened up about how the experience led to his latest book, Friend of Sinners, and made him truly understand Jesus' approach to relationships. Here's a clip from that conversation.
I wrote a book about 2 years ago called Sandcastle Kings, and I started kind of touring or traveling or talking about that book, and it was just amazing as I was kind of getting into interviews like this, just how a lot of the questions would come back to people and maybe some of my friends and people that I do life with, or how we do life, and just a lot of questions, a lot of curiosity around maybe what they thought was maybe the appearance of evil or guilty by association. And in all of that, this soundbite kind of kept erupting out of me, which is just, it's not an original soundbite. I don't know where I heard it the first time, but just that people aren't projects, people are people, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna treat you like projects. And so in all that, I just started thinking that I think I'm getting asked about this a whole lot. And I feel like Jesus himself was the best at this. He was so good at befriending and doing life with so many different types of people. And he was constantly being criticized and constantly being questioned about why he was there, who was that person. And ultimately, it was because he came to befriend all of us, that we're all sinners. And so for me, it's kind of been, I think it's a cool journey to follow up Sandcastle Kings, which is a book about building your life on Jesus. This is a book really about God's extravagant love, God's mission to win back humanity, and then our response as believers to mimic and become like Jesus on this earth in the sense of being carriers of the gospel, which would be to be friend of sinners ourselves.
I thought of another thing that that I liked in 2018.
What's that?
I was able to play Fortnite a lot.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
I
the
was
first one.
I was able to learn about Fortnite and attempt many of the dances. And so
Attempt.
it's a good year for
Keyword.
me too. I think we both had banner years.
Here's the thing about Fortnite is it so consumes a kid. So consumes them. It's all they think about. It's all they want to do. It's all they make their friendships based on who else plays Fortnite.
Yeah.
Cohen's friends at school changed this year because he befriended the boys who play Fortnite.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'll say this. I've been enthralled in a Fortnite legal case. I know we got a lot to get to here. And Rich, Rich married Kanye and Kim. We're starting off hot. Okay.
Right,
This is a
right.
mover and shaker here. Did you guys hear about this Alfonso Rafera, the Carlton?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's suing Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
He's suing
stealing his
Fortnite for
dance.
stealing a dance. But TMZ released an interview from 2012 where Carlton himself revealed that he stole the dance from Courtney Cox before she was an actress and stepped on stage in a Bruce Spring music video and did the horrible dance there. The case is blown wide open. What a year. What a way to go out of
Also,
2018.
Backpack Kid, yeah.
Backpack Kid is stealing
Yeah.
or suing over the floss, but he didn't invent the floss. He just
No.
was awkward looking and did an internet video.
Yeah.
I mean,
what
like,
a year. What a year.
And then he did a ton of concerts.
yeah. He toured with Katy Perry.
AK, good for him, man.
He was on SNL.
good for him.
He
Ride
already
that
cashed
wave.
in. He doesn't need
Make
to sue
hay,
Fortnite.
make hay. What is it? Why the sun is shining? Whatever it is, that kid, he knows. You got to go get when the getting's good. Because if a Backpack Kid, you hit the lottery, cash those checks right now, kid. Good for him.
Thankfully, the floss isn't really a big dance anymore.
Yeah, it's moved on. See, that's the thing. That's that to Jesse's point. People have moved on, you know? He doesn't have the shine he once had. Well, I think my least favorite thing about 2018 is Fortnite. So, well, I mean, we'll just be in the store and I'll look over and my kid is doing like these spastic dances to another kid. Like he sees another.
It's a dance off. It's
like-
Fortnite has done one. If
Yeah.
Fortnite has done one thing, like
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen the stats. Gang violence is down across
Right.
the country because what is happening is it's like the Jets and what's the other one? The Sharks
don't know.
or whatever.
Yeah,
They meet
yeah.
in the alley, and where it would be like they'd be picking up chains and switchblades. Now it's the good old fashioned dance off. The
Dance-off.
best crew wins, and the other one walks, and now that's their territory.
I think it's funny. Like I'll watch. Literally, if we see a kid about Cohen's age, Cohen will make eye contact with them and do one of the Fortnite dances to see if the other kid responds in kind. Like, is he in the fold?
I don't see why this is a bad thing. I failed.
Yeah,
to see.
I remember when we were went Christmas tree shopping.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the aisle, I saw another kid. We both stopped and we stared at each other. And then I started to do a Fortnite dance, and then it just turned into a Fortnite dance battle.
Yeah, this is my life now. So
Hey,
if we're
Cameron,
not playing
when I was his age, I would see another kid and I throw down a pocket full of pogs and break out my Ninja Star Slammer and take a few home with me. It's fine. It's fine. They had to ban those from school because it was like gambling. It's way better. Dancing's objectively healthier than gambling. I don't see what the problem is.
All right. Well, hey, 2018 saw Ava DuVernay not only direct Jay-Z's Family Feud featuring Beyonce video, but also an adaptation of the Christian sci-fi novel A Wrinkle in Time, the first $100 million budgeted movie to be directed by a woman of color. Ava, who has also directed movies Selma and 13th, talked about why the film's themes of light and darkness are so important in today's culture. Here's part of our conversation with Ava DuVernay.
The book and the movie is about an embrace of hope and the ways in which we do that, the journey that it takes each person, the journey that each person can take to get to a place where you live in a hopeful space. It doesn't mean to be naive, and it doesn't mean to turn your back on tragedy. I mean, in this story, the girl is having kind of really a tragic family moment with her father having disappeared, not knowing where her loved one is, something that a lot of people experience through death, through incarceration, different kinds of separation. But through that, she, in her quest to find him, it's really her finding herself and a hope within herself, a way to proceed through tragedy with joy. I think it's really hard to live life in a hopeless space. I'm a student of history, and while this might feel like a dark time for many, it's not our darkest time. You know what I mean? There have been times far darker than this, and so I think it's important to, while we foreground ourselves in the present moment, we have to do so with a real acknowledgement of the past and how far we've come, and an acknowledgement of hope for the future. And we hear those words, hope for the future. It's something that's said a lot, but when you really break them down, it's that, the steps that we take, our forward movement, need to be centered in a sense that there's more to do, and there's more available to us, and there's, cause for celebration and a promise of possibility. And all of those things are something to smile about and something to be filled with light about.
Well, back at our 600th anniversary live show, singer, songwriter, and worship leader John Mark McMillan joined us and performed a cover of U2's classic hit, Pride in the Name of Love, live in front of the studio audience. If you watched the show, we live streamed it. You can still find it online too. It was awesome. Here is John Mark McMillan doing Pride in the Name of Love.
So this is one of my favorite songs from years ago, and I ran across it again recently, and I read the lyrics, and I thought, it sounds like he could have wrote this song today. But this song's called Pride in the Name of Love. It's a U2 song, and go back and look at the lyrics if you haven't read them in a while, because they're amazing. So anyway.
One man come in the name of love, one man come and go, one man come here to justify, one man to overthrow. In the name of love, what more in the name of love? In the name of love, what more in the name of love? One man caught on a barbed wire fence, one man he resists. One man washed up on an empty beach, one man betrayed with a kiss. In the name of love, what more in the name of love? In the name of love, what more in the name of love? Oh, 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 Early morning, April 4, a shot ring wings out in the Memphis sky. Free at last, they took your life. They could not take your pride. In the name of love, what more in the name of love? In the name of love, what more in the name of love?
Can I just say the 600th episode was the highlight of the year for me. That was super fun. The Christmas Spectacular was fun too, but I had a lot of fun at the 600th episode. I'm excited for the next big milestone where we can do another one of these.
Tessie, can I tell you, end of the year, all week I've been working with our strategy and finance and sales teams about initiatives for 2019, right? And I just have to tell you, I mean, I'll tell you, it's not cemented, but in the plans for fall 2019, there is a line that says Relevant Podcast live campus tour and a plan of taking the show to theaters at a handful of, college towns around the country with special guests and, doing the thing and taking her on the road in the fall semester. I'm telling you, it's on the docket.
Big things happening.
That's not even the drum roll situation for January.
Yeah, the drum roll is still rolling. Like I said, the rim shot won't hit about till 20 minutes into the Jan 4 show when we actually remember what we're supposed to be talking about.
No. It's not Jam 4. It's going to be the third week in Jan. Okay, anyway. Yeah, that rim shot's going to come about 5 episodes from now. So anyway, hey, 600 was fun. And we thought, why don't we have a little bit more fun next year? Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Well, in May, author, speaker, and activist Austin Channing Brown joined us to discuss racial justice, why churches must do better about addressing racism, and her book, I'm Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness, one of the most talked about books of the year. Here's part of that conversation with Austin Channing Brown.
I've worked at a lot of churches and ministries, and all of them would say that they're Christian. But I don't think all of them would realize that they're also white, that the leadership is white, that the songs they sing are white Christian contemporary songs, that the board members are white, that the majority of staff, teams are white, and that whiteness is uplifted as the way to be. So in some instances, there's a desire for people of color to be present, but not a desire for people of color to change the culture of the organization. And bumping up against that wall, realizing that, let's take an easy one, that worship, that there's no interest in adding gospel music, that there's no interest in singing in Spanish or Mandarin, but there's no or that if there is, it is on MLK Day or during Hispanic Heritage Month, or but that there's no desire for integration, there's no desire for the worship, for lack of a better word, to evolve, to include multiple voices. Right, that's bumping up against a culture that doesn't realize it is white, but is.
Right.
And so that's what I mean, to be a Black woman who is constantly bumping up against that wall. And I don't know, maybe it's not fair to say that they don't know they're white. maybe that's too generous. I don't know. But certainly there are very few organizations that would be outright in saying that we recognize this is a culture that we have built. We like it this way. And if you could just come hang out and diversify us in numbers, that would be great.
Yeah. Austin Channing Brown, she had a really breakout year. She was someone, obviously this year saw a lot of tension socially over racial issues, especially how the church is interacting with them. And she is on a short list of people who have been making a massive impact in how the church has been thinking about, racial tension in America today. It was an honor, obviously, to have her on the show.
Well, this Easter, John Legend was chosen to play Jesus in a live TV production of Jesus Christ Superstar, a performance that led him to getting a Emmy, which completed his EGOT. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. We talked to the former church choir leader about why the message of Jesus still has the ability to change culture and the influence of gospel on modern music. Here's part of our conversation with John Legend.
Well, I think it's important for us to, because there's so many people that hold him in such high regard, so many people that take his word seriously and take their faith seriously. I think it's important that we continue to examine his word and not to project what our own political motivations are onto him, but to actually, pay attention to what he actually said. What he said about the poor, what he said about loving one another, and all the things that he preached. I think sometimes we lose sight of that.
It's interesting because it seems like the teachings of Jesus are kind of having a moment, particularly in music. We've seen with Kendrick's album and Chance's album and Kanye and Kirk, numerous examples. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's having a moment now?
Well, I think gospel music, particularly in the Black church, have been a part of Black music culture for so long because, if you just go back and look at Aretha Franklin, she grew up in the church and made gospel albums. If you look at Marvin Gaye, he grew up in the church and made songs that talked about his faith and Jesus and his views on spirituality. Stevie Wonder has done it. I think all the great artists we grew up listening to, they grew up in the Black church, and that tradition doesn't just go away even though you're making secular music. I think it stays with you.
I'll say this about John Legend. I said it at the time. I went and re-listened to a lot of these interviews.
Yeah.
Literally the coolest voice. You could tell, like, if you had no idea, if you were just cold calling, right? And if John Legend just cold called you right away, you would know this is arguably the sweetest dude I'm ever going to speak to. Because like, hey, how's it going, man? Yeah, we can talk about Jesus. It's just so cool. Like John Legend, the coolest guy. And he had some really interesting things to say about faith and culture. Like he was totally into talking about Jesus. All of his, if you read the magazine piece, he was on the cover of an issue this past year, which this year, can we say objectively too, Cameron? You've obviously been involved in this for a long time. I think we probably had some of our biggest name covers, maybe in our history in 2018.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It was a banner year for content, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, this year we hosted one of the biggest performances we've had in the Relevant Studio. And by biggest, we mean numerically about the bodies in the room.
Literally, I didn't know if I put in the notes, literally the biggest. Like physically, if you were to combine the mass of bodies, it's like, I would say it's like 9 brilliances. Somewhere in that
range. For King and Country and their incredible band stopped by to play songs from their new album, Burn the Ships. Here is For King and Country performing Joy.
Lately I've been watching the nightly news. Don't seem to find the rhythm, just wanna sing the blues. Feels like a song that never stops. Feels like it's never gonna. Gotta get that fire back in my bones before my heart turns into stone. So somebody please pass the megaphone. I'll shout it on the count of 3. Oh, you're my prayer tonight. I'm singing to the sky. Give me strength to raise my voice. Let me testify. Oh, you're my prayer tonight. 'Cause this is do or die. The time has come to make a choice, and I choose. Let it move. Let it move. Let it move. Yeah, I choose joy. Let it move. Let it move. Let it move. Yeah, back when I was younger, my eyes were full of life. Feels like it's never gonna. Gotta get that fire back in my bones before my heart turns into stone. So somebody please pass the megaphone or shout it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ocean, my bread and light, I'm singing to the sky. Give me strength to raise my voice, let me testify. Ocean, my bread and light, 'cause this is do or die. The time has come to make a choice, and I choose joy. Let it move. Let it move. Let it move. Yeah, I choose joy. Let it move. Let it move. Let it move. Though I walk through the valley in the shadow of night, though it feels like the sun, I'm stepping into the light. I choose joy. Let it move. Let it move. Let it move. I need the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I need the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. Yeah. I choose to let it move. Let it move. Let it move. Yeah, I choose to let it move. Oh, let it move. Yeah, let it move. Though I walk through the valley in the shadow of night, though it feels like the sun, I'm stepping into the light. I choose to let it move. Let it move. I need the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I need the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay.
Chandler, you've had a lot of time to reflect on For King and Country and the controversy that they cause on this show. And
Yeah.
I feel like Chandler's most well equipped to answer this question because he's the one who's tinkering with the audio. He doesn't he doesn't just hear it. He sees it play out in WAV files in Pro Tools or whatever he's using. And the controversy was these two, Joel and Ethan Smallbone. Is that the other one? The Smallbone brothers, the duo who front For King and Country.
Joel and Luke.
Joel and Luke. That's right. Joel and Luke were born in Australia, but at a very young age moved to Nashville, Tennessee.
Right.
Annie,
Because of their sister, Rebecca St.
St.
James,
James.
became a big deal in the late 90s.
and so Annie, who is a Nashvilleian, told us of a conspiracy that they may be slightly embellishing their Australian accents. Chandler, you have now listened to hours and hours of audio from these two individuals.
Yeah.
You've had
Well,
a year to
one-
think about this.
There was that one video, I think that Annie played us, remember?
Where he slipped into Christopher Walken.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It was convincing. I was convinced just off of that.
That what?
They might turn it up a little bit in certain.
Oh, they
certain-
turn it up. It's not like faked, but they, they lean into the character.
Yeah.
It was arguably one of the biggest controversies of 2018. There was some stuff with Trump. I can't remember because it was, it didn't seem like it was even that big a deal.
Yeah,
to
totally
me.
not.
It was mostly fake news, sad fake news from the enemy of the people. And then we had this thing, and this is where I invested my time. My duty as American.
Hey, if you want to see those performances, there's a couple of them that they filmed in the studio. They're phenomenal. They're on the Relevant YouTube page. Just go check them out. Well, in May, we spoke with speaker, author, and founder of the anti-human trafficking group A21, Christine Caine, about how a series of tragedies led her to rediscover God's capacity to meet us, even when life takes us the most unexpected places. Here is part of our conversation with Christine Caine.
There was a lot of things. I think, what I start with is on my 50th birthday, I was having this awesome birthday party. with 150 friends on a boat in Southern California, and I got off, had a great night, and then on the way home, I got a text or so that I had, 26 missed calls from my brother, telling me that my mum had passed away that night. And it was like, and just kind of looking at life is just like that, best of times and worst of times all at the same time, that we just are hit with unexpected things. And I think really what struck me was in the last few years, there's just been so many unexpected changes in society, different things that happened to us. I talk about when I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, with different friends of mine that have been single for 20 years longer than they thought they would, other friends that have gotten divorced, other friends that couldn't conceive children, other friends that lost children, just all the unexpected things that happen. And I think if you were to ask me what the overarching theme is, that although things are unexpected to us, they're not unexpected to God. The pain and the heartache, knowing that God is consistent, that God is sovereign, God is still on the throne, and He will give us grace to go through it. And I also wanted to remind people to expect unexpected favor and blessings from God as well. I just think in a world that feels very hopeless and helpless, I really wanted to stir up that gift of faith again and say, when I got my cancer report, I didn't know whether it was stage 1 or stage 4, whether, I was going to be healed instantly, be healed through medicine, or die and go to heaven and be healed. I didn't know which one, but in it all, I could have a faith-filled attitude that would mean that my condition, my diagnosis, or the unexpected event did not need to define me, but still my identity in Christ could define me. And I think I really, really felt stirred to fill people with faith again.
We'll say this about Christine Caine. The accent is real. That's a real Australian right there.
That's true. That is true. She's a hero, man. I don't know how she does everything she's doing. I mean, she speaks literally daily. She preaches daily on Hillsong Network. She speaks at conferences around the world, which means you can't just take that one talk and shop it around, and no, I mean, she's like coming up with new content every day. She writes amazing books. She heads the women's organization Propel. They do amazing stuff. It's the largest Christian women's organization now. And then she leads the A21, and they're like literally freeing people all over the world and turning their lives around and then fighting the bad guys. And then she has a great family. She's a great mom. I don't know how she does it. She's fascinating to me. She's amazing.
Cohen, I got to know real quick, what was, all the lists are happening right now. Cohen, favorite movie that you saw in 2018?
And not just the most recent one that I saw
yesterday.
Favorite
movie, 2018.
It's like we need to see a list of them all. You've seen so many movies.
Yeah, that's right. Off the top of your head, what's one that you really liked that you'd recommend for people?
I don't remember what came out.
The new Mr. Grinch.
Oh, Grinch, you saw yesterday. I said no, just pick the one you saw yesterday.
Hey, I heard it's good. In fairness, I've heard it's good.
We're going tonight to see Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I actually, that is the one of the highest critically acclaimed movies of the year right now.
Isn't that crazy?
It has like
it's
99%. Like
it's 93, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super
high.
Yeah, it's won over. I've seen it on some best of. Cameron, do you have like TV and movies get harder and harder to keep up with in the year? Do you have a favorite or one that was a highlight for you? I'm gonna go the low ball here, the easy one. I gotta go Black Panther. Like, I watched it again on Netflix the other night. Every scene is awesome, and it might legitimately be nominated for Best Picture. Chandler, do you have one?
I was trying to think of a movie that I watched, but I definitely saw Black Panther, so I'll go with that as well.
Well, the next one we're going to mention, I actually liked, and I don't know if I put it on my best of, but I thought it was pretty good. It's, I have a little bias because we're close to the source material, Cameron.
Well, in May, This American Life host Ira Glass returned to the show to talk about a new movie he produced based on a true story that he first told on his radio show. The movie's called Come Sunday, and it tells the true story of Carlton Pearson, a megachurch pastor from Tulsa, who was cast out of his church after he stopped believing in hell. Here's part of our conversation with Ira Glass.
Just as a story, it's a great story. It's a very classic sort of Hollywood story of a man who stands up for what he believes in and loses everything. You know, I mean, it's just like a very old school sort of movie. And then it seemed exciting to do the story in a way where the people in his life, the Christians in his life who love him, kind of get equal weight to him, like in saying, like, we would love to be on your side, but we're not. You know, and we're worried for you. And so, I mean, I know I've said this before to your magazine, but like in general, I think the media, the news media, movies, TV, don't do a very good job accurately portraying life as practiced by Christians in this country. And this seemed like a chance to do a story where every character is in the church and every character is a believer, and they face a question that they really disagree about, and you see people work it out.
Yeah, come Sunday, I thought it was a really great movie this year, especially for people, because it treated both sides, people who were sympathetic to Carlton and people who, took a firm stand against what they saw as heretical teaching. It treated both sides really sympathetically, and I think it's just a fascinating story and a really well executed movie. It had Martin Sheen, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Jason Segel. That's another one kind of flew under the radar a little bit, but it's on Netflix if people want to check it out.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, Lisa Gunger's story is one of faith, doubt, and ultimately hope. After her husband and fellow worship leader Michael Gunger embraced atheism for a period, and they had a daughter with special needs, she was forced to confront her own beliefs and lean on God to come through on the other side. She opened up to us about the story in one of the most discussed interviews we featured this year. Here's part of our conversation with Lisa Gunger.
I probably hit rock bottom when someone in my family was battling cancer. They were dying, and on this level of like very personal family stories, facing crisis in my family, and my whole family praying for him and saying, no, we're just going to believe. And so I get this call one day, and my cousin's healed, right? And I'm like, everyone's like rejoicing and like saying, praise God, crying. And I'm the person that's like, God, I want to do that. I want to have that feeling, because I didn't want to be that cynical person in the family that is wrestling with the questions why. And so I just decided to, what it felt like in my heart, it felt like I tried to just do the blind buy-in again and squash the questions that I had. I'm going to jump back in. I'm back in. And then I got a call, and one of my family members had said, oh, well, he's partially healed. I was like, what? What does that mean? And I lost my mind. I mean, I lost my mind. I mean, I can laugh about it now, but at the time I was like weeping, and in much suffering, much suffering that I, on this side of it, like I've come to learn like that suffering that I was creating. I mean, I think on one hand, I was suffering with the way I'd been programmed to view the world. And I love the Buddhists would say, suffering is what happens when you want what is in front of you to be different than it is. So we really wrestled through it. I mean, it was just a day in and day out. Okay, we love each other and we're in this. It really made me question everything, my foundation of my life, and what do I believe about love? I mean, love is this whole story that I've bought into about Jesus Christ. And so what do I believe about this? And for us, that all led up to, for me, the climax of this whole thing was Lucy's birth. So this little girl is born into the world that our society says is broken and needs to be fixed. And at the same time, I'm feeling that within myself, like I'm broken, I need to be fixed because I don't believe like I used to believe. So it was kind of this painful, epic, beautiful, wonderful. It's just like these waves of realization. Oh, she's not broken. She's perfect and beautiful and good and fearfully and wonderfully made. And whoa, so am I. There's nothing to fix about me. Even though this whole system that I've come from is telling me there's something wrong with me.
This one had a lot of steam it picked up after it was on the podcast. This went around on Twitter because she was so, for the first time really publicly, she talked about what it was like being a worship leader and being married to someone who was an atheist at the time. Really powerful, transparent story, and a fascinating one just because of the kind of positions they hold in Christian culture.
Well, one of our favorite artists of the year, Johnny Swim, came to the Relevant Studio this year. And if you've ever seen them live, you know what you're in for now. Here is Johnny Swim performing We Take the World.
We don't need calligraphy to write a fancy story. Kings and queens would turn to thieves to find what we've been holding. You and me, we can take the world.
Sweethearts give sweet compliments, but our love goes without saying. Though you make it hard not to spill my heart every time those hips go swaying. You and me, we can take the world.
'Cause they can write stories and they can sing songs, but they don't make fairy tales sweeter than ours. And they can climb mountains high into the sky, oh, but they can't take the world. No, like we can take the world.
Ain't it just like love to find us? Ain't it just like love? Ain't it just like love to find us? Oh, ain't it just like love? Ain't it just like love? Ain't it just like love? 'Cause I ain't trying to pressure you, just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my girlfriend. I just wanna know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook up, hang out, just chill, just chill.
Slows down. I wanna take you higher. Let our hearts be the only sound. I wanna go where the lights burn low when you're only mine. I wanna give you wild love. Yeah, I wanna give you wild love.
That might be all the time we have for y'all today. We'll keep going. It would take a lot to take me away from you. Ain't nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Hey. Baby girl, what's happening?
Ain't it just like love? Ain't it just like love?
'Cause they can write stories, yeah, and they can sing songs, but They don't make fairy tales much sweeter than ours.
Oh, they can climb mountains high into the sky, but naked take the world.
Oh, no, like we can take the world. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
La da 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 da, la da 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 da.
When they came through, we not only did the performances, we did an interview, and they obviously ended up on the cover of one of our recent issues of the magazine. You definitely want to read it. It's an amazing piece on Johnny Swim. Yeah. And if you want to see those performances, which you do, head over to Relevant's YouTube channel and check them out.
Are they not two of the most romantic human beings on earth? Like they seem like they have this crazy just magnetism towards each other.
They do. They're an amazing couple. Now, admittedly, we hung out, the rest of the day, that night, whatever. And they are also real people too, with little kids in tow and nagging and mom. They're real people. It's not, and it's not a persona. It is absolutely genuine. But you don't want to set people up and be like, well, my relationship will never be like Johnny Swim. So, no, they're real people, but it is awesome, the connection they have. And you can definitely see it.
Yeah. And I will say this, your relationship will never be like Johnny Swim's because it is magic. It is pure magic.
What's in the water in Waco? They don't live in Waco anymore, but they're connected with Chip and Jo,
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on?
Exactly. There's something about there. Something so quaint. You know what it is? I think it's something when you peel back an old layer of drywall.
Yeah.
And there's just, some untouched shiplap that's been collecting some sort of mold that's like an aphrodisiac or something. That's all I can think of. That shiplap has some sort of aphrodisiac mold. That is the only thing that makes sense.
Well, Ethan Hawke joined us this year as well. In his movie First Reformed, which was one of the most acclaimed films of 2018, he plays a priest suffering a crisis of faith. We spoke with him about how his faith journey informed his decades-spanning career. Here is Ethan Hawke.
I was raised a Christian. I was baptized an Episcopalian, confirmed an Episcopalian. My stepfather was Catholic. And, my father has been either Episcopal or Church of Christ his whole life. And so I've been raised in and around a dialogue about faith my entire adult life. Anytime I can remember, I've had a lot of very sincere people in my life who were seeking. And I've always been trying to figure out how to integrate that aspects of my life into my creative life and to balance them, access to that routine and a culture of people caring about ethics and equality in a really safe environment to learn is a wonderful way to grow up. My mother and stepfather taught the youth group on Sunday, and it's a huge part of my life. I don't know what it's like to grow up without it, but I know it had a big impact on the way I see the world. I actually think it gave me a great framework to survive the pitfalls of early celebrity. It teaches a fundamental humility, and one of the problems with kind of making it in the movies or making it in the arts anyway is they fan the flames of your ego in such a way that it's really easy for young people to lose a sense of context and to have a sense of humility to keep learning and to keep growing. That's one of the fundamental problems. But one of the great things about going to church is you see yourself as a member of a community. And you also see that things like faith is a supple and moving thing, because you see lots of adults with different points of view. You have one priest that feels a certain way and a different than the way your mother feels, which is different than the way your father feels. And I think I grew up with a lot of different, from a lot of people with very supple minds. And it made talking and thinking about why we're born and why we have to die and what we're here to do, a more exciting conversation. A lot of people turn off when you talk about religion or God because they think they're about to be preached to, or dictated to, or told they're wrong, or told they're lost, or and they turn off. And my family never really did that.
This is one I had a lot of fun re-listening to kind of pick that clip. And it's cool to hear him talk so fondly about growing up in the church and the teachings of the Bible and how they really have informed his, morals and ethics and beliefs even up to this point. And First Reformed, I've seen it at the top of a lot of people's lists of the best movies of the year.
Well, culminating the show, the highlight of the year, number one moment of 2018. It was probably the most important cultural moment of the year as well, because somehow the good people at Chili's this year heard Chandler discuss his undying love for their restaurant chain, and his desire for an exclusive black card, which doesn't exist.
Right.
But, the black card, it all started with Corey Asbury getting a Chick-fil-A black card. And then Chandler was like, I'd love a Chili's black card. And it just took on a life of its own.
Yeah.
That's right. Corey Asbury, before the interview even started big time in me with talk of his Chick-fil-A black card that he has finagled his way into. The black card came up and I don't know how the Chili's people heard it, but they did.
Yeah.
And then, it took on a life of its own on Twitter. And then
I'm pretty sure it's through Twitter. You probably listened.
And then a few weeks later, a mysterious box showed up at Chandler's doorstep, and we decided to have a live unboxing here in the studio that changed Chandler's life.
I love that this is the number
forever.
one moment.
Here is the Chili's box unboxing. Chandler, talk us through step by step what you're doing to unbox the Chili's box.
We're cutting the tape, breaking the seal.
This is amazing.
Okay, now I do want to say this box, while large, has a Chili's sticker on it. It's not a Chili's printed box. So this is a one of one. This is not a thing that they do.
But still, someone went to the time to make sure the box had branding on it.
Is it well centered, Cameron? Is it professionally put on there?
No, somebody assembled this box
they
with
took
love.
care.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There are 2 Chili's stickers on it, but it's a generic white box. So again, this is not a thing that they have in stock. I mean, this is something
they created.
Custom
This is
made
amazing
for Chandler.
All right, here we go. Opening it up.
Okay.
All right. We got confetti.
Here we go.
Ooh, a lot of black confetti.
We have another box.
There's confetti. Hold on. Slow down. Hold on. There's confetti and there's a box within a box.
A box within a box.
A black.
Is there anything else besides the black confetti?
Hold on. It is black confetti and a black smaller box with a big Chili's sticker on it.
Okay.
So
his fingers are trembling. Literally, you can tell he's nervous with excitement.
A little nervous.
It's a big.
What does this say?
All right.
Okay, there's a letter.
There's a letter?
Read it out loud.
Is it
Read it
from
out loud.
Roger Chili?
Right. Oh, hey, Chandler. Back in July, we heard you tell the world how much you absolutely love Chili's.
Hold on. Chandler's crying right now, guys. This is...
So, wanted to personally reach out and show you some hashtag Chili's love. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's definitely September, but here's the deal. We don't have a Chili's black card.
Right.
But
Whoa,
we were
pause
so
there.
darn
We don't
moved
have a
by-
Chili's black card.
Hold on.
for your love for us that we created a custom one-of-a-kind Chili's card with $750 to take care of all of your Chili's wants and dreams. That's enough to treat yourself to our 3-for-1 deal once a week for a year or ball out with friends.
Ball out with friends.
And there is
Pretty
a
true.
gorgeous looking.
It's pretty heavy.
Platinum.
It's like
it is like a metal card.
Chandler, what is describe the card? Because I can't see it, from the camera.
It is
here.
red.
It's metal. It's like that
It's
super
not metal, but it's like heavy duty plastic.
Yeah, it's like
Wow.
that. It's like that high end Amex Platinum card.
All right.
Yeah, will you pass it to someone who can come bring it closer to us, to the camera?
So
Pass
Chandler,
that over to the camera so they can see it.
So Chandler, they did, as a matter of fact, not have it sounds like they listened to the pod. We heard you, talk about the black card. They custom fabricated one and loaded it with
Which is
nearly
why it took so long.
$1,000 of Chili's cash.
Their intention was to give you a year's worth of Chili's.
Man, I feel blessed.
This is like Seinfeld situation all over again. Like you saw a void in the universe, and Chili's knew they had to fill it.
How do you feel, Chandler? Tell us some of your feelings.
What's the feelings right now?
It feels like Christmas, like after you open the presents, and
that's awesome. That's
you know what I mean?
cool.
That's an awesome looking card.
That is, that
it's
card
like,
is
it's like
awesome.
a red, and it's really thick. Wow.
You
Yeah.
just tweet that thing. You take a picture and tweet that thing, and make sure there's not like a number on it, like a credit
I
card.
wouldn't
So
tweet
that
the
someone's
backside because the
taking your
backside
Chili's
has
box.
the number. That's a beautiful card.
Chandler, I got a question. After you use the $750, which they claim will last $750 will last you a year, I predict
You're not going to blow it all at once. That is not your personality.
by Thanksgiving. But will you keep the card in your wallet just to flash occasionally?
Forever. Absolutely. I'll probably just reload it.
Yeah,
knowing how
reload it
frugal,
for sure.
this is for real. Knowing how frugal my brother is, like I don't think he's been working here for a few years. I don't think he's actually spent any of the money he's earned here. I mean, like literally, like he is that frugal. I think that $750 will last him a good 7 to 10 years.
That's reasonable.
I'll say, a little behind the curtain. Let me give it a little behind the curtain. Literally, I picked these and no one approved it. And I was like, we're ending the best of show with the Chili's unboxing, because you can look back. We have Oscar winners on the show. We got an EGOT winner. We have breakout performances from incredible artists. You know, we have world changers. We have activists. But I think we had to really, go down on top with the Chili's unboxing. This is the first time I'm pretty sure either of you guys have even looked at this rundown. Yeah. Did I make the right call?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. It's the number one cultural moment of the year. Well, we're talking about the impact of the podcast that we've created.
Yeah, there you
and,
go.
And it going out
That's
into
the
the
only
real
time it's
world.
ever happened anywhere.
And going from a podcast joke to a real world thing. It's a rare occurrence. We got to
that was wild.
Acknowledge it. There you go. Well, that's the highlights of 2018. Obviously, a lot more happened. And like Jesse said, go back and listen to all 100 episodes. Don't. Actually, that's too much time.
Hey, if you're bored over the holidays, why not? Why not? Edit your own best of show for all we care.
I like it. Well, hey, I just want to say to everybody listening, thank you for sticking it out with us all the way to the end of this show. And thank you for listening all year long. It's been a fun year doing this. I say this every year, but doing this podcast is the highlight of our week. We obviously do a lot more. We do web content every day, other podcasts. We do a magazine. And when it comes time to come in and record this thing, we have just so much fun doing the Listener of the Week this year and get to know some of you. And obviously all the Twitter interactions at Relevant Podcast is so fun for us. So we just really appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Thanks for talking about the show. Thanks for those of you who have gone on to the Relevant store and bought the podcast swag and sent us pictures of it and stuff. It's so funny seeing all this. You guys are the best. It's a blast. We really do have some fun new things launching in early 2019, and we really are trying to go on the road in the fall. So come see you in person. It'd be a lot of fun. So anyway, on behalf of, for I guess Eddie, we'll throw Eddie in the mix. For Eddie, Big Cat Koffolds, Annie F. Downs, Tyler Huckabee, I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler Strang.
I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
We will see you next year.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
Don't put me in a box, Brooke Baldwin. Hey guys, let me tell you about getting an IV jammed in your arm. I have a slogan in my house: kick it down the garbage hole. That's because I am wearing a mask. I'm Batman. I will bring 6 more hot topics to this state. We're trying to get them to come to our church to pass apples with their neck. I have malaria pills and sweet dreams every night. Real horrific, vivid ones. It's called The Bachelor. I think it's European. Oh, really? Vegetables? You got a fave? And now Andrew Peterson and the Problematic Choir. A lot of people don't know this, but if you jump kick somebody, it's legally not assault. I am now officiating your wedding between you and your boss. Call his dad. Perry, do you have a tongue? Something set off the motion detectors. Guess what? It's a deer every time. One of us may or may not have the dead body of an elephant on our hands. And all of a sudden the red hat came out and so did dippity-doo-de-poop. If I have the intent of loitering, I'm loitering. What you're doing, it's called pickling the insides. And slap the top of LeBron's head as hard as he can in an effort to rub off his hair plugs. The career of Keanu Reeves is really underrated. Hi, my name's Ulysses Percy Sebastian. They've done nothing to age him down. It's just Kevin Sorbo playing a 17-year-old. McDonald's, the Florida babysitter. Then all she hears is, ah! Like, what? Well, I just got my pleasure. What do I do here? I don't believe in your quote-unquote biology. You just punched Kevin Sorbo in the stomach for no apparent reason. Russian spies just watch my face as I return 4 emails. Oh, no. I've made a gigantic mistake here. I use Couple Skate as a cool down because I've been out there dominating a game of red light, green light. There's a new bandana in town now. I've invested a lot on the NASCAR index, and I'm waiting to see my money. I have no idea where it is right now. Raise a child up in the art of clowning, as the good book says, and they shall not flee from you. Suspend your disbelief and believe in the power of magic. What also works if you swing around your Oathkeeper sword. Let me tell you about Jesus. Call us and tell us what crime you want to get off your chest. One of the richest men in the world, Dr. Roger Chili. I'm badly injured here. Stop the ballet. Ah! You don't know mushrooms go on plugs? All of a sudden, blow darts. Is that guy in a wheel suit that's coming at us at 70 miles? Yeah. So listen, I was at Craig Groeschel's kids' baseball game. Just stick with me here. Something really powerful happened. Live from 700 feet below Branson. Just go punch that ballistic dummy as hard as you can right in the stomach. Been like, ah, boom. Hello, Batman. I'm just going for a run. In my mind, I'm picturing a chicken wearing a diaper. Is that pretty accurate? You drive through the toll booth coming over the bridge here, and they jail you. We have disturbing news this evening from the moon base. One of our Soviet colleagues has found to have peed in the pool. Cover story, The Naughty List, 2018. I don't know what kind of debauchery I might be in for, but I'm hanging out with Lord Scrat, the air guitar guy. Mom, what's a hickey? My place in this world, Sorry. How many people in your family can you poison? The winner gets 2 pizzas. And they're a very litigious family and will slap you with a restraining order so fast your head will spin. You want the cod bod, you gotta eat the cod. You eat how many gummy worms a week? Shut up, judgy doctor. Was it a time of my life figuring out what a Molotov cocktail was? You betcha. Carson Wentz one night was lying asleep in bed and just popped up and went, "Thy kingdom come!" Like the time I found out I was twin brothers with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. When I have the opportunity to eat an endangered animal, I always do it because you don't know how long you're going to be able to try it. You see my fin, it's bent over, which means I'm sad. Tillicum, tillicum, tillicum. It's as if him and Jesus are the most uncomfortable Siamese twins ever. Gotta be honest with you guys, I'm not even entirely sure how postage works. If the world's fattest bear had something to do with the White House haunting, you could bring it. Did I catch a small bone in there? Yeah. Little do they know, there's a whole Boston Market meal under there. I want to Mount Rush less, and it's with people who've accomplished very little in their lives. You know what's funny is I heard this room was built on the cemetery of an old jazz band. You scoundrels! Ugh, what is this? Oh, 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 oh. I think it is 3 notes of one stinky chord. Last Wednesday, you played with my heart.